guys, I'm finally back to film my wrap-up for the Love in the Night Readathon. There's a reason that I have stopped doing, like, TBR videos and Readathon things, and it's because I'm lazy about doing wrap-ups. And I know they're usually part of the equation. So, yeah, I just haven't filmed it yet because I've been lazy, but, oh, Buffy. Emma. So yeah, we're finally filming it. I mean, I guess I'm not, like, too badly off. I think I'm like a week off when I'm filming this. Oh well. So, the Love in the Night Readathon took place from the 8th through the 14th of November. I will post all the hosts once again down below. I've had a heck of a lot of fun, like, watching everybody's vlogs and just watching their videos in general. So I would definitely go recommend following them all because they're all lovely. So basically I'm just going to kind of go through what I read each day and then say what prompt it was and try and remember what the heck happened in these books, because that's my issue. Like, I'm like sitting here like looking at this first one going, I liked you. Who were the characters' names? I don't remember. I don't remember. So hopefully my info, don't knock the camera, will help me. So the first thing that I ended up reading was Glare Camera, Mating the Huntress by Talia Hibbert. I definitely had, I really enjoyed this. Like, this was a lot of fun. It was a short novella. Okay, Talia, is there any way for me to, like, Buffy? Oh, my Buffy. What, Buffy? People can't see anything but you, like, if you get a little further, further away, at least, you know, be a little cuter, instead of just being, like, on top of the camera, and it's just like, here's some fur, guys, just look at Buffy's fur. So, basically, this is about a girl named Chastity and the guy named Luke. Yes, I had to look that up. Chastity is from a long line of werewolf hunters, and however, she has never been allowed to hunt werewolves because her family has, like, there was some superstitious something going on, and her family was basically like, yeah, you know, you're not allowed to. So, Luke ends up coming into their, like, bakery, I'm pretty sure it's a bakery, and is basically, like, very, like, upping her, like, very interested in her. And you end up finding out that he has claimed that it's like a fated mate, so he's the fated mate, and it's her trying to kill him because, werewolf, and him trying to sleep with her because fated mates. So it was really cute. I mean, it was Talia Hibbert, so the Smexy times were on point. She's always good about that. I liked it because I felt like it gave you enough to, like, introduce the characters and things like that, so I didn't think it was like I know the issue with novellas is you don't, like, get that much character introduction, so they're sometimes a little too rushed, but I felt this one actually had, like, a pretty decent pace, so I actually quite liked it quite a bit, and it's Talia Hibbert, so I'm not going to complain. So the next thing that I ended up reading, Buffy, I love you, but just lay down or something, girlfriend. Was Buffy. Oh my goodness, ma'am. Where? No, where's the front of the book? That's the end of the book. Can I go back to the front of the book, please? Is Among the Living. Can you show me the cover, please? How do I get back to the cover? Cover. Blech. So this was, I started this one the same day. I read like 50 pages from it. Oh yes, Mating the Huntress, Don't Knock Stuff Over, Buffy, is for, a author of color and the booktube darling. I don't necessarily know if this book would be considered a booktube darling, but I feel like Talia Hibbert is a booktube darling. So Among the Living, it was my LGBTQ plus title. This is a male urban fantasy is what it's technically touted as, although to me it counts because the guy like freaking talks to ghosts. So you've got, and this is not letting me see the about section. I just need to know the dude's name. I don't remember it. Ma'am, stop running into the camera. But it is about, basically you have like a detective situation, like a she's just knocking books over. Are you done now? Can I let you out, please? Since you can't, like, just calm down and stop knocking the romance books all over the floor. Done? Done. Good. Oh my goodness, Buffy. Oh, and you dinged that one too. Sorry, romance novel. At least you weren't expensive. So this is about oh, words, Lindsay. Words. Okay. So it's about a, like, it's part of, like, the police force, but it's like a duo team. One team is, well, they call it a stiff, and it's just a person who's normal, a normal cop. And then they have the psychic. And the psychics have all different kinds of, like, different abilities that they can have. Like, one, I think, like, there's a female in there, and she can just basically, trying to explain, like, what she can do. She basically knows when you're lying. So she can't not tell the truth, but she also knows if someone's not telling the truth. And then our main character guy basically talks to ghosts. He sees the ghosts and he talks to them and he figures out basically, hey, how'd you die? And then they use that to, like, figure out, like, how the person was killed. And they actually, obviously, besides, you know, obviously the talking to ghosts can't be, like, real evidence in court, but they use it to try and figure out how to get the evidence to, like, basically put the guy in jail. So this is the start. Like, there's a whole bunch of them. I think there's, like, I don't know, like 13 or 14 in the series so far. So it's a novella series. This was 162 pages? So, or something around there. So it's basically the main guy, his partner has retired. So he needs to get a new partner, a new stiff. And they end up assigning this woman to be his stiff. And for reasons that I don't want to say because spoiler, they end up basically pulling her off, and then he becomes assigned to another duo set because this is such a big case. So basically, they keep finding guys that are homosexual that were killed. Like, it looks like, you know, they had sex and then they were killed afterwards, and they're, like, displayed in the rooms that they were killed in. And it was very interesting. I will say, the only thing that, and this is just me because I've been reading way too many romances, that this one is not very, like we build into the characters and we fall in love and everything else. It's like within the first, like, 50 chapters, it's just like, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, we're in, like, the bathroom stall, like, doing it just because, for fun. So, yeah. It's not very, like, build up into romantic, but if you just want a nice male that was pretty interesting because of the whole ghost aspect. I mean, I have, like, the next 2 or 3 books in this series because I downloaded them, like, forever ago. So I will probably end up continuing it because it's interesting enough, and I really love the talking to ghost aspect of it. But there is that. So the next one that I ended up reading was I started with Shay, The Season of the Wolves. This is the 4th book in the Legend of the Wolf series. I have Buddy read this whole series with her. It's been a lot of fun. This we put down for the Rita Shifter and Rita Sequel. So this is a lot of fun. This is basically like a wolf shifter series. It's very interesting because they have like different types of wolves in this situation. They basically have the folks that like live in this like, I don't know, colony type situation where they can choose to be basically human or wolf whenever they want. And they kind of go in between whatever they feel like it. But at the Iron Moon, like the full moon, like every month, they basically have to be human and then shift into wolves. And then for 3 days, they just basically stay as wolves. They can't like shift back. And it's basically just like their interactions between the wolves in this pack and hierarchies and alphas and betas and things like that. It's really interesting. I don't want to go like too into it because this one is the 4th book in a series, but this basically focuses on the alpha of the Great North pack, which is Evie. And it's more like focusing on her story, which you've met her through the other 3, but obviously this is like really more focused on her. And Constantine, who is they call them shifters, and it's basically like they are wolves like the others, but whereas they like integrate themselves into society and pretty much pretend they for all intents and purposes are human. They don't shift with the Iron Moon. They're basically humans, but they can shift if they need to. So their interaction and their like falling in love, and it's super cute. This is like a really good like 4-star series, like overall the whole thing. So there was that. And then I ended up doing Barista and the Bear, which is the group book pick for this readathon. I think I just had it down for the group pick. Yeah. So this is another shifter novel. This one was also really cute. So this is a bear shifter. So it's basically Teresa. So she works at a like barista witch, a coffee shop, and she's there working, and all of a sudden this like bear shifter comes in and is basically like, hey, you're my mate. And she's like, what? And he's like, yeah, you're my mate. And she's like, I don't know what you mean. And it's basically Cash, the male, trying to teach her about like fated mates and like what it means. It's a lot of fun. I mean, there's like a wild car chase and like something this short, so it like was amusing. It was just a cute little read. I definitely ended up downloading the 2nd book in the series because it's just like, it's just cute. It's just a cute little good old time. It's, you know, them figuring out, well, her more so figuring out what fated mates are, and her learning more about herself, because in this land of shifters and everything, she's not exactly human herself. And it was just a lot of fun. It was, you know, they had some smexy times that were fine at the end, so it wasn't like too like wham bam right in the middle, which was good because it built it up. But yeah, I definitely enjoyed it. And I will definitely end up reading the next one. So the next thing, obviously each day I read like 50 pages of Season of the Wolf with Shay, so that just continued on. The next day was a holiday, so I ended up finishing Among the Living, and I ended up finishing Barista and the Bear, and then I read my 50 pages of Season of the Wolves. The next day I read my 50 pages of Season of the Wolves. The next day I did nothing because it was just one of those days. It just didn't happen. Like, work was long and work ran late, and I left an hour late because of meetings and then running into people that were retiring, and I just got home late and I was tired and nothing happened. But the 14th was the last day of the readathon, so I definitely tried to bang out everything that I could. So the next thing that I did was obviously finish Season of the Wolves. I also then read, for the prompts, Different Style, because it is a manga, which is different from everything else that I was reading, and Host's Favorite, because Shay really enjoys this one, is the 15th and 16th volume of Demon Prince of Emoji House. This finishes up the shoujo. This is about a girl who inherits Memoji House, which is an estate that exists between the, like, barrier between the human and the spirit realm. And she ends up finding out that there's actually, like, the guardian of the house that actually lives there. And it's her and him, like, developing feelings and learning about each other and growing along the way. And other Shinigami that are spirits, I think that Shinigami that he ends up having with him along the way. And it's just, this, like, finishes up the series. I liked, like, the ending was kind of interesting. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little confused how, like, the ending just ended up happening, because it does, like, a time skip, which is fine, that doesn't bother me, but it was interesting. Like, it was an interesting series. I mean, I liked the whole, like, paranormal aspect of it, so I enjoyed it. I feel like maybe I should have, like, tried to reread some more of it, because it'd been, like, an awful long time since I read 14, so when I jumped into 15, I was like, what the heck had happened again? I can't remember, so I probably should have, like, gone back and at least restarted the story arc again or something, but, like, at the end I figured out what happened, and it was fine. I mean, it was pretty cute. I don't think it's, like, one of my favorite shoujos or anything, but it was fine. And the next thing that I ended up reading was... Wake up, Kindle! I need to show them the cover. In Comixology app. No, I don't own you yet. Can you show me the cover? There you go. Would be Vampire Dormitory. Okay. This one I had thoughts. So, this one is about Mito, who is basically a girl who is just living on the streets. Like, I think her parents passed away and, like, no one wanted her, and she just kind of, like, was living on the streets, dressed as a boy so that, like, people didn't harass her being on the streets as a female. Which makes sense. But then she ends up meeting a vampire, Ruka, who ends up basically taking her in, says, hey, you can become my thrall, which is basically my source of feeding, and then you can live with me. And I will just basically keep you safe. And, like, his whole goal of this was because she's had such, like, no one's cared about her and no one's loved her, negative emotions about herself. Like, her blood tastes not great because of it. But he's like, oh, it has potential, and basically, if we like, in this all-boys dormitory, and me and everybody else start to show you that, like, you're relevant and we care about you, you're gonna start feeling better about yourself, and then your blood's gonna start tasting better. But, like, the big thing about it was that he basically has said, you're perfect because I don't, like, I hate girls. Like, I hate women, I hate girls, I don't want anything to do with them, so no. Not realizing that she's a girl. So, it was cute, but this is, like, I have the same issue with this as I have with any other series where the girl's pretending to be a boy. Guys, you have to, like, extend belief that somehow people cannot figure this out, that this is clearly a girl dressed as a boy. Like, I will admit, like, at the beginning when I started reading it, I was like, I swear Shay said this was a girl, but this is a freaking boy, so I'm confused. But no, freaking girl. And it's not like, okay, if her hair was short to begin with, sure. And she used her same hair, she just had short hair, sure. If she had, like, no boobs, sure. This girl has long hair and boobs. And she's wrapping her boobs. And trust me, kids, this girl, if you try to rap me, there is no flipping way you're gonna ever think that I'm a boy because I'm rap, because these suckers do not pin down easy as they beak. And her, same situation. Like, this is like a normal anime girl with normal big boobs. And I'm sitting here looking at her because they finally show her, like, in the shower or bathhouse, and I'm like, there is no flippin' way You can bind those down so low that you look like that skinny little boy. No way. So, ignoring that, because that drove me insane. So very, very insane. The story was cute. Like, I liked her, I liked him, I liked the other characters. We've got, like, the potential rival who's like, oh, Riku's like a bad guy and I'm gonna protect you situation. So we've got that going on. It's cute. I like it. Do I really think that this girl looks at all like she could pull off being a boy? No. No. But otherwise it's cute. So if you can handle that, which I've actually had books that like drove me nuts with this obviousness. If you can handle that, I'm still going to give it a try. I like it enough that I want to keep going. It's a cute little story about, you know, vampires and things like that. And I don't read a lot of vampires, but yeah, it's just that part. Okay. So there's that. And then, last but not least, this was not on my TBR. This was like, so that was like everything. The other things that were part of the bingo board were obviously like follow the host, which I did, post my TBR, which I did, post my wrap up. Hello, wrap up. So I'd actually finished everything, but I was like, what else could I read? Because I was just in that place on Saturday. So I ended up picking up this, which I was planning on reading this month. And then, like, it just didn't fit into the TBR. I've already realized my TBR is way too big. There's no way I'm finishing all these books. So, it's like, I don't even know what day it is. What day is it? Kindle, do you tell me what day it is? The 19th of November. There is no way I'm finishing one book I haven't started, one book I'm only like 40 pages in, and then 3 other full books that I haven't even started yet in like the rest of this month. It's just not happening. So I do have to like figure out which ones I'm gonna like shift over to the next month. But this is basically got 2 short stories in it. It's got Rocky Mountain Miracle, which is the very big boy in the front, and then A Touch of Harry. Now, A Touch of Harry is basically that part of it. And this is the part that I read because I was like, well, I can read this short story because it's like, how much was it? It was like 120 pages or something. So I ended up reading that. It was super cute. So it was basically a girl, Margie, who is basically the veterinarian, like, wildlife rescue. She does, like, all, like, taking care of the stray animals and everything's in this, like, town. And, she basically finds this like injured wolf and takes him back to her like vet and like kennels him, and then the next day goes to check on him and it's actually a dude in the kennel. So he like manages to sneak out and tries to figure out like what the heck happened, how did this wolf become a dude. And then there is Harrison, who is the stranger in town, the guy who ultimately was trying to be, who was the werewolf, who ultimately ended up getting like unfortunate series of events. Someone was hunting him, tranquilizer darted him to try and sell him, that she got him back, things like that. But he actually ended up coming into town because he is a private detective who was actually brought in by another family in that area because their son is missing. And he's basically, because there's a whole werewolf hierarchy and family situation, he's coming in to find their werewolf child who basically ran away with a human. So it's him trying to figure out where these children all ran because their parents want them back before Christmas, meeting up with Margie, falling in love with Margie. It's super cute. It was just a cute little 100 or so pages. I enjoyed it. It was cute. I like the writing. I'll definitely see if I can find more of Susan Sizemore's stuff and see if there's anything else. And I will, like, I also read, like, I don't know, 20 pages of the first one in here by Christine Feehan, but I didn't get very far, so I still need to finish that one, too, because that's the big chunker boy. Because that one's, like, 240 pages, so we'll see if that gets finished this month, too, because that one is also one But that is everything that I ended up reading for this readathon. I talked way too long. It also didn't help that Buffy destroyed things. But yeah, so that is everything that I read. I definitely enjoyed it. I had a grand old time. I'll definitely do this next time. I don't read a lot of paranormal romances, so this was nice and like a nice change of pace. I would love to have read more, but I was definitely, right now with the Rona, I'm doing alternating weeks where I'm working. We'll see how long that lasts, but I was working that week, so it's just hard for me to read when I'm working. It just doesn't happen often. Especially when you're working every other week, because then when you're actually working that week, you're so busy trying to catch up for the fact that you were gone for a week that it just, trying to sneak any reads in during work is just very difficult. And I can't do like audiobooks and stuff like that at work. It's not allowed. So, anyways. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this wrap up for the Love in the Night readathon. I will see you guys later for the next video. Everyone have a very good rest of the day.